there is rain. Then there is whatever you'd call the wettest 24 hours for the people of Reunion Island have ever experienced. Hi, I'm Chris May, host of This Day in Weather History, a podcast from the Weather Network in Canada. An island in East Africa and located in the Indian Ocean, nowhere on Earth sees heavier rainstorms than the tiny French island, Reunion Island. Not at least like what we're talking about today, on this day in weather history. First of all, a little bit about Reunion Island. It is very small. As a matter of fact, its 2020 population sits at only 859,959. There are several cities in Canada alone that have bigger population numbers than that. Reunion is very tied to France, both in language and administration. Reunion is one of the overseas departments of France and is an integral part of the Republic with the same status as metropolitan France. Reunion, like nearby Mauritius, is a volcanic island. It emerged from the ocean floor 2 to 3 million years ago, so it's got history. Of these volcanoes, Piton des Neiges, which formed the island, has been dormant for more than 20,000 years. Meanwhile, Piton de la Fournaise is one of the most active volcanoes in the world, so opposites apparently attract. There were more than 60 eruptions between 1998 and 2019 from this one, so taking this topography into account, Reunion's 10,000 feet volcanic peaks, like the summits of the Rockies in Canada and the United States, provide strong lift to moist air slamming into its slopes, resulting in a fast lift and heavier sustained rain. But that is just the tip of the mountain. The island is also at the climatological location where the Indian Ocean's tropical cyclones pivot from a west-southwest track to a more southeast track. Sometimes this turn will take a tortuously long time to grind it out, again, thus enhancing a stronger sustained rainfall. I get a bet that this regularity of heavy rain in volcanic formed land may have an awful lot to do with the fact that France's tallest waterfall is not in France, it's in Reunion, and that is why Reunion Island is known for some of the heaviest rainfalls on Earth. That's just a bit of an introduction. Now, there are some really powerful monsoons in India that will go on for months at a time, but regardless, like I said earlier, nowhere on Earth sees heavier rainstorms than this tiny French island that is found not too far from Madagascar and Mauritius. So I tell you all of that to set you up for this. The Reunion Island rainfall record, that story we're talking about. It started on January 7th, 1966, when Cyclone Denise passed north of Mauritius and kicked out wind gusts of 170 kilometers per hour or 110 miles per hour. Then the records began breaking. The storm then crossed over Reunion, dropping a rainfall total that would sink most seaports. And just trying to wrap your mind around this. In a wee little 24-hour period that stretched through January 8th, this day in weather history, Denise dropped 1,825 millimeters of rainfall. That's basically 72 inches of rain over Reunion. And that's shockingly not the worst part. 1,144 millimeters, that's 45 inches of rain, fell in just 12 of those 24 hours. Both of these totals are the highest recorded worldwide for their respective durations. Problem is, it didn't stop. It just kept piling on and piling on. In an extension of over 48 hours now, rain totaled 2,230 millimeters, that's 88 inches, causing flooding, severe road and crop damage, and claiming the lives of 3 people, sadly and tragically. Oh, Reunion Island has seen its share of catastrophic rain events. Let's go through a few, shall we? January of 1980, Tropical Cyclone Hyacinth stalled out like Denise near the island for about 2 weeks. It just sat there, expending wave after wave of rain, dumping up to 239.5 inches. That's almost 20 feet of rain in those 15 days. Hyacinth's flooding killed 25 people and left 7,000 homeless. February of 2017, Tropical Cyclone Carlos brought 447.5 millimeters, that's about 17.5 inches of rain, in a short 24-hour period to Reunion Island. Again, a heavy dose, but pale in comparison to the 1966 deluge that rained out this day in weather history. Tomorrow is January 9th, and we are back into fireworks, but not the fun kind. This time we cover a car crash that is prompted by a brutal snowstorm, and in it, there is fire and chaos and fireworks. Because why not? Hey, just so you know to look out for it, tomorrow's episode is accompanied by a podcast video short that you can watch either on TV in Canada, on the Weather Network, or online anytime and anywhere you are at theweathernetwork.com/weather history. They're shot right here in my podcast recording studio and features the episode being made with video and photos from the event right from when it happened, so be sure to watch that. But after, man, you gotta join me here because only on this podcast will you get the whole story. It's On This Day in Weather History with me, your host, Chris May.